Rob Johnson's. Welcome aboard. And yeah, we are live on YouTube. So, and we're watching chat. Anyway, just here to say hi and, have something to do while I wait for the grinder to finish. Hey, Noah, how are you? So let's see. It's hot here in the New Hampshire. Pretty warm today. We've had a heat wave, but it's not as bad as it was. But it's pretty warm and pretty humid. So I've got the door to the house open with the fan, trying to steal a little house air conditioning. So Noah, we are making PFG stones today. Actually, the second half of the process. The first half is doing the major faces, and then now we're doing the sides. Hey, Kevin, only here for a few minutes. That's cool. This is random, as has been indicated. Well, I think I'll slide the chat down here. Ooh, that's much better. Anyway, so we're finishing up a batch of 4-inch PFG stones, and those are needed for orders. And then I've got a bunch of orders to ship. So I think I'd like to set the goal today of finishing all the 4-inch stones into inventory and doing all the shipping, and then I get tomorrow off. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on the normal live, which will be 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 1700 Zulu. And, we'll do the usual thing. But right now, I'm just being random. So that is what's going on. Hey, Indiana John. And I'm not going to apologize for the fact that I took a nap earlier. Yeah, that was absolutely necessary. So we did that. And I'm just enjoying grinding. So I posted I posted something on Instagram about, well, it was Instagram plus Facebook, but you guys don't see Facebook. We had a thunderstorm pass over, which was not unusual yesterday. Noah says, it's Saturday. You deserve at least one nap. Thank you, Noah. That's appreciated. Yeah, I took it. So while the grinder was going, I actually had the grinder kick out with an alarm, and it e-stopped itself because of a power glitch that we had due to the storms. It was pretty bad. And nothing was damaged, nothing was hurt. Everything was totally cool. But there's a first time for everything, and that was the first time yesterday. So that was interesting. Let's see. I'm still learning my way around OBS. So that was yesterday. Today we had 3 candidates at our promotion test for Taekwondo, and it was very successful. Everybody did an awesome job. We had a blue belt get red trim, which for those of you keeping score at home, that's third GUP. And 2 black belts went to second Dan. So that was a very, very fun day. And I did photography. which I have to edit. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. That'll be part of my tasks tomorrow. Am I shouting? No, my work tunes are giving me no feedback at all. So I don't know if am I shouting and overloading things? I could take them off, but I usually use them around the machines. Not because there's any super loud noises, but there's a whole bunch of fan noise going on over there, and it accumulates. So I definitely leave them on. Also, how's the audio on YouTube? I've been running an audio filter here. Let me see if I have it on now. Yeah, I have something called a noise suppression filter on the YouTube audio, and I wonder if it's doing okay. So if I'm shouting, I should take these off. There, I took them off. And now my feedback system is probably going to let me not shout. Proteum Machining, how are you, buddy? That was a great interview with Cyrus. I enjoyed that very much. Seems like a good dude. I like Cyrus's quote. If you, by the way, guys, if you haven't listened to the Within Tolerance podcast, where Dylan interviews Cyrus, you should. But the one line, of course, my favorite line, the whole thing, he says, "I don't even know how anybody got along without precision ground flat stones. You have to stone everything." And I agree. Nice day in the shop there too, huh? Cool. Yeah, he was. Proteum says, makes me feel old and dumb talking to guys young and motivated. Yeah, he was awesome. ABS, always be stoning. That's our new flag. We need a big ABS flag. Nobody will know what it means. It's like, why do you have a flag dedicated to plastic? I don't know. Thank you, Kevin. Oh, I wasn't shouting, and that, okay, thank you. Well, I appreciate that. Well, this is a good setup. Um, and I previously thought that the shotgun mic pointing over yonder where the noise is would be a problem, but I think the difference in R squared between the distance from me and the distance from the noisemakers is enough. Plus, we have that little filter turned on. Anyway, so that's what's going on here. Yeah, awesome day. I ran out of my favorite foam, my 1/8" foam. I have a system, of course. I keep one on the shelf and one on the rack. And this is my foam. If you've bought stones from me, you have some of this, or you did have some of this. So I went to go buy some more from McMaster Carr because that's where I've been getting it from. And the price was amazingly high. It was, I don't remember the exact number, but it was definitely over $100 for the roll. And I could research how much it was last time I ordered it. So of course I had to do some homework, and I found it on Amazon, same specifications, different length. There's actually a longer roll, which I like. But when you get it down to apples and apples, it was 50% cheaper. So I ordered one roll from Amazon. We'll see how it comes out. I figured the worst that can happen is it's terrible and I send it back. I mean, I like giving my business to McMaster Carr, but not at a 2x difference. So I will report if the quality is meeting specifications. We'll see. What else is happening here? Let's see. Also in the shipping department, I've been running on this label printer called um, a Rollo label printer. Some of you may use it or be familiar with it. And I always had trouble getting good quality out of it when using it with ShipStation, and they have their own driver. Oh, you know what? I gotta go flip stones. So give me a minute. I'll put up the BRB, and I'll be right back and finish this story. I told you it's random. Be right back. And we are back. A couple of guys checked in. Darth, welcome. Hussein, welcome. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that'll, take advantage of the return system. I mean, if it's really crap, I'll send it back, but I'm not playing games with those guys. If it's good, I'll keep it. I'm just always worried that it's going to be absolute garbage, and for all I know, it'll come in and it'll be exactly the same stuff. I'm hoping that's exactly what happens. So where was I? What story was I telling before I left? Oh, the Rollo printer. So the Rollo printer worked for years. A little bit of a struggle on print quality for the 4x6 labels, especially for international shipments, because the international has this very small type and it's got barcodes and stuff. And I was never happy with it. And they said, oh, you need to use our high resolution driver. So I tried that, and always a fight. So then in a recent update from ShipStation, which of course I dutifully did, I did my updates, they said, we are not supporting Rollo printers. Full stop. I'm like, so I was able to use it, but I had to print a PDF and then print the PDF. It was like, this is not efficient. So I said, I'm going to buy a new printer. Hey, ADS, welcome aboard. I'm going to buy a new printer rather than deal with this inefficiency. I got plenty of use out of the Rollo, and it'll be useful for other things, maybe upstairs. So I went to the ShipStation page, and I basically said, hey, what's your favorite printer? What do you guys like the best? And make a long story short, they said that the Dymo printer was easy to use, just works, maybe isn't industrial strength. And I ended up getting me one. Proteum says, get yourself a refurbished Zebra on eBay and don't look back. Integrated label roll, great quality. So I looked at the Zebras new, and they were double the price of the Dymo. and my head was swimming. And I said, you know what? If the Dymo works and just does the job, I'm just going to get it. I don't do enough label printing to make it the end of the world. So I got the Dymo. Oh, I have a story about that. I got the Dymo, and it's up and running, and it's awesome, and it is super quality and with ShipStation. I'm not saying the Rollo is a shitty printer. What I'm saying is that Dymo plus ShipStation is a great combination. So I understand about the Zebra. I didn't recognize that they have refurbs, but I think I'm set. I think I'm set with the Dymo, and I'm very happy with it. So that was, nobody's ever going to see that. It doesn't affect the quality of my product. It affects the efficiency of the operation and the blood pressure of the proprietor. So totally happy. So that was a thing that happened. Maybe you could take a little tidbit from that. Hey there, Dan. Welcome from the Deep South. Actually, you're south of me, but it's not the Deep South. Frankie, no. I'm seeing some new names. Larry Mullet, welcome aboard. Fad Rat Cater, of course. There you are. So that was the Dymo. Oh, so extension to the Dymo story. So I'm, a small business owner, right? You're looking at the prices, and the Zebra's twice as much. The Dymo, do I buy a new printer? Am I being an idiot? Finally, I said, yeah, I'm just going to buy it. So I went on Amazon, and I found the price, and it was, I think, $261. Max headroom load again. Sorry. It's not me. It's you. I apologize. And then I said, yeah, I want it today. So I look on Staples, and they have them at Staples. So I do my local Staples, and I look it up, and it says they have one available for 1 hour pickup. So I don't do anything online. I just get in the car. I had to take my kiddo back down to college, and so I drive over there, and I go to the Staples, and they can't find it. So here I am trying to be efficient and get ahead of the curve and do it now. They can't find it. And their price was $269. Not a lot of money, but $8. So they said, we'll call the next town over and we'll see if they have it. And I had to go through that town. So I was grumbling. I was kind of pissed off. But I ended up saying, okay, fine. So they called the other store, and the other store had one. And they said, they have one. It is physically waiting for you at the registers. So I go over I get in the car. We load up my kiddo, and we head down south. And pull off the exit, go to the Staples, and I'm still kind of grumbling. $269, right? So I go up to the registers, and I said there was a young guy behind there, kind of getting stuff done. And I said, hi, the other store should have called you. He says, you're here for the Dymo printer. I said, yeah, that's me. He says, yep, I got it right here. So he pulls out the thing, and he puts it down, and he says, how are you going to pay for this? I said, credit card. Okay. So he rings it up, and it comes up on the little screen, and it's $169. And I said, excuse me, let me just check the model number. And I look at the box, I check the screen, shove my card in there and hit go. They checked me out, everything was fine. And I walked out of there, and I was just sort of like, okay. So here I was getting all pissed off, and the universe had a sense of humor. And their database said it was $100 less than it was supposed to be, or at least I thought it was supposed to be. And I lucked out. So I have to confess that story. Oh, was there a fire in California? Ooh. No, did anybody hear anything about Randy in California and the fire? If anybody has, check in. Hey, Alexenko, welcome aboard. This is a random live. This is not the live that you're looking for. This is not the live you are looking for. We're just blowing out the pipes. Randy Richards, thank you. Has anybody heard anything about Randy Richards and the wildfires in California? I'm not seeing anything on the YouTube chat. If anybody has any information, just check in and let us know, and we'll repeat it. And of course, when we're done here, excuse me, I will probably get on and see if I find anything. I did not see anything in my scrolling earlier today. Bad Radcator sends a check mark, which is in a color that I could barely see. That's cool. Anyway, that was the story about the label printer. One of the things you get to do as a business owner is worry about label printers. Let's see. Sticker packs went out, and I got feedback from the field that the sticker packs arrived, and people are happy. Mold design engineer, welcome aboard. How much of your life was dedicated to fungus? That's what I want to know. So anyway, good feedback on the sticker packs. More importantly, good feedback on our shipping method for the sticker packs, which is the first class letter thing, and that seems to have worked. Also, international people, you should know that we're having some good success with international shipments. Give me another week to make sure that we didn't get any issues with those, but we sent some stuff to France, Canada, 2 places in Canada. No, there's no indication, Fed Radcator, that ShipStation will provide a printer. I know that FedEx has a program where they'll give you boxes and a printer and all sorts of good stuff like that. I'm actually not interested. I just want, the printer is small potatoes, but no, they don't have anything like that, and they don't have a store. Somebody in one of the forums, because when I was doing my research, brought up the question, well, doesn't ShipStation sell printers? And the answer is no, they do not sell printers. Uline, if you use Uline, and I buy boxes from Uline, Uline does sell printers and does sell all that stuff, but there's no such thing as provide unless you're signed up for FedEx. Sir Henry, you're a riot. Sir Henry says, since when is Canada international? It's just next door to the U.S. I know. I sent stuff to Grimsmo. Grimsmo is a PFG Stone nut, and he's also a NAS customer. In fact, he was one of the first 3-inch NAS customers. And man, we sent a flat rate box. You guys know what the flat rate box looks like. And I think it was basically $30 to Toronto. Fat Radcator says McMaster is less than Uline for boxes. Not the last time I checked. I actually did check. And for the boxes I was buying, Uline was cheaper. I checked. You might want to recheck that. But I'll check it again, because if you're right, I have no allegiance to Uline. It's just that they have the selection, and I thought the prices were just fine. So we'll check it again. So yeah, all of the things that a machinist and PFG stonemaker does not want to deal with, I have to deal with. So it's fun. Anyway, yeah, check it out. I can't swear to it because it's months and months ago, but if it were not true, I'd still be buying McMaster car boxes. And I can also point out that McMaster Car is not getting their boxes from Uline. They have a different source, which is also good because you now have a dual source, right? So if something happens and we can't get Uline stuff, we can get McMaster car boxes and vice versa. So we like redundancy. But yeah, I could be wrong on the pricing, but I don't think I am. I'll tell you what, I wasn't wrong on the foam, and I did that 48 hours ago, and the foam was out of control. And I'm sure McMaster Car would be apologetic about the price of foam and why it has to be the way it is. I have no doubt that they would apologize. Oh, so while I got you here, and we're doing a random live, I'm trying to solve this problem of having a guest on. Hey, Clark, welcome aboard, and Craig, welcome aboard. I'm trying to solve this problem of having a guest on, and we're doing. If you guys are not familiar, we're doing dual streaming. So we're streaming on YouTube, we're streaming on Instagram. I can't do that and have a guest. So we've had guests before on Instagram, but I think I want to have a guest on the YouTube format. So does anybody feel strongly if we have a scheduled live interview on YouTube only and not on Instagram? Would you feel offended? Or would you just say, yeah, no problem, I'll just watch it on YouTube? Because you could do it, you could watch from your phone, and you could do all sort of the same things on Instagram as far as consuming it, but it would make production actually higher quality. So give me feedback. I need feedback. Or do we, I don't know, do we alternate or something? I haven't figured out a way. Instagram is not friendly for letting other programs, other software get into their stream. Whereas YouTube, we have OBS, and I could do all sorts of stuff with OBS. Precisely Imprecise says not at all, meaning no skin off his teeth. It's better to watch on YouTube. I can watch on my TV. Okay. So I haven't heard anybody give me negative feedback on, oh, don't stop doing it on Instagram. Yeah, StreamYard is used by the Amateur Redneck Workshop, and it works fine. But I don't need, here's the thing, I don't need StreamYard. Once you learn how to use OBS, the world is your oyster. We could use Skype, we could use Zoom, we could use FaceTime, we could use a combination of those depending on what the guests have. It's pretty neat. And yes, StreamYard is simpler to use, but I've got the tool. It's right here. I'm soaking in it. So I'm not worried about the tool. I'm worried about what people think. So that's the question du jour. I'm going to ask it again tomorrow on the scheduled live. But does anybody feel super strongly that we don't abandon the live on Instagram strictly for the purposes of having a guest? If we don't have a guest, we could do exactly what we're doing now, and then you get to pick which one you want to watch on. So your feedback is welcome. You could put it in the comments. You could send me a DM, whatever you like. We'll probably put this up on YouTube. You could put it in the comments. I just need to know, because I've got a few people in mind that I want to schedule as guests, and I want to get on with that. Anyway, that's my whining about the YouTube versus Instagram thing. Hey Clark, are you rolling? Are you fully let me ask this a different way. Are you fully retired now? Which means let me translate. Retired means working harder than ever. Yeah, Protium. If the guest has a phone and a webcam, you could do both. I hesitate to burden. I've had guests before, and it the nice thing about Instagram is it's super simple. The nice thing about OBS plus YouTube is they could use whatever tool they want, and we could make it work. Yeah, I checked into it, Clark. Instagram is a walled garden, to coin a phrase, and they won't let any other software, like you can't do a live from a desktop computer on Instagram. You could consume content. It's weird. 12 days from now. Okay, so 12 days and counting. Excellent. No, I'm not running my own server. No, OBS is a piece of software. What does it stand for? Uh, Something broadcast software, and you you get these credentials from YouTube, which is basically a crypto key, and when you can from inside of OBS, you hit the button and it will stream right out your YouTube channel, and YouTube is just acting as a piece of streaming hardware. And then all of your production, like if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're not, and you're sitting at at your desk, bring up the YouTube channel, Kinetic Precision NH, and I could do everything here. I could do audio effects, multiple screens, text on the screen. I mean everything. So it's really nice that you could do it on your computer and then just send that pipe to YouTube, and YouTube says, "Yeah, boss, no problem," and out it goes. Alver, welcome aboard. Mr. Bolivera, welcome aboard. Oh, I heard the magic sound, I think. Did I? Yes, I did. I have to go put put new stones in the grinder. So I'll be right back. These are the risks you take when you join me for a random live. It gets weird. I'll be right back. And he's back. Anything good happen while I was gone? All right. I'm back. This is what my Saturdays look like. But I make people happy, so what can I do? Anyhow, there's one person that sent me stickers, and I could swear I'm missing one envelope. So if somebody is out there grumbling about not getting those stickers, I'll have to search my office, and I will find them, and we'll get those out. Keep in mind that if you guys want stickers, want to trade stickers, I'm happy to do it. You can just plain send them to me. Make sure I have address information on there, and I'll send them back. And for the moment, even if you're international, it will happen. That's the unofficial word from me. Or you can go to the website and just order stickers and pull down and say, I have sent you stickers, and you hit the button. And the nice thing is that it'll cost you $0, but I'll have all your information in the system. It makes it very easy for me to send out stickers. So that's the story. Any questions? You guys have any questions about any topic? Any topic at all? I've got 20 minutes before I have to go attend to the grinder. We have orders going out this week from Australia, a commercial customer in Ohio who is a multi-time customer. Yeah, get back to work, Clark. That those molds aren't going to, ram up themselves. By the way, I'm going to give a Clark Easterling commercial. I have to grab a prop. I'll be right back. So this is a Windy Hill Foundry angle. This is a 6-inch, and it is gorgeous. I bought the raw castings from Clark and ground them here. See previous video. I think we talked about this on one of our PFG lives from the old days, and it's on YouTube. It's all searchable. You could find it. I'm going to answer you, Fabian. And they're absolutely gorgeous. I bought 2 castings, and the key to these projects is you buy the castings and you put it on your bench, and then you wait a year to let them settle. I'm just kidding. I was procrastinating. And finally we got it done, and they came out absolutely gorgeous. And I showed how I eventually got it done, so these are just 0-0 perfect. I have 2 of them, and we made them in the same session. So head over to go do a search on Windy Hill Foundry, and you too can have yourself some beautiful castings. Now I believe Clark is selling the raw castings. And Clark, if you're still in there, hey, thank you, sir. Are you offering the finished angles? Is somebody doing some finishing for you, or are you just offering the castings? But they're a beautiful thing to have in the shop, and they're using tools. You go use them, and these are here to be used. Clark says he's out of stock at the moment, hopes to have more in stock soon. Okay, cool. So the nice thing is that Solid Rock Machining makes a tooling block, a gorgeous tooling block that is a super nice tool on the grinder, and that was used to make Clark's to grind Clark's castings. So this is a very much a community project here. Okay, so Clark says that he's offering them as rough machined, and they still have to be ground and scraped. So there you go. Anyway, let me put this back in its cradle. Anyway, get back to work, Clark. You can check in later. We'll talk about you some more. Okay, there was a question. Hang on. Do you still need an optical divider for the grinding machine? You're laughing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm missing something. You know, whenever you ask me a question, do I need a, insert name of tool here? The answer is always yes. There was another question I wanted to get to. Oh, what's the easiest way to quickly clean PFG stones? So the easiest way, it's funny. My wife brought this up. We were chatting over dinner, and I don't know why cleaning stones came up, but we talked about this. If you go through the videos and you look on the website at pfg.gg, there's a few different methods mentioned. Okay. Honestly, the quickest and easiest method is Dawn dish soap and water and a plastic brush, and just scrub it like you were scrubbing the baking pan. Oh, Sir Henry, are you talking about one of those German, I don't remember the name, send me a DM. Where are you located, Sir Henry? Or is it pronounced Sir Henry? Anyway, so just soap and water and a brush is a really good way to do it. Another super simple way to do it, which you can probably do with what you have in the shop, maybe what you have within 10 feet of you. You're in Germany. Yeah, send me a DM. Tell me what you got. It's maybe tough. If it's what I think it is, it's probably a pretty heavy beast. But let's talk. Take corrugated cardboard. I have some. This happens to be a post office box, right? Take some corrugated cardboard. Spray it down with a healthy amount of WD-40 and stone the WD-40. Stone the cardboard, and that will help clean the stones. Another method is the same brush, but with denatured alcohol. I use both denatured alcohol and separately Dawn dish soap and water in my process. I mean, those are used in the manufacturing, so we know that those are okay. And then finally, ultrasonic cleaning. Don't put 27 kilowatts in it, but any ultrasonic cleaner that sits on top of your bench should be fine for cleaning the stones. I've done it. The only thing I caution is if you use ultrasonic cleaning, it's so good that you'll see a lot of the there's oil built into the stone. The stones are saturated with oil. Hi, almost. And it'll clean some of that out, and you'll end up with like a almost like a ring on the face of the stone where it got dried out. Don't If that doesn't bother you, just let it rip with the ultrasonic. You don't need and you don't have to leave it in for an hour. 5 minutes. Learning the machinist's craft. Welcome aboard. So I gave you 3 different methods, I think. But here's the most important thing, and this is what we were talking about. The most important thing is on the surfaces that you use the stones on, clean the surface first. So, like, I have my big, hang on, let me grab a prop here, show you what I'm talking. When I say that I use denatured alcohol, I'm not kidding. This has been refilled. This got empty yesterday, and I refilled it. So you just, wipe down the surface before you stone. Clean it before you stone. Hey, Australia, welcome aboard. I have a package coming to your fine land. It might even be going to you. I have no idea. I don't need to know. But wipe down the surface before you use the stones. One of the things that we tend to do is we're working on precision stuff and it's got oil on it, and you correctly and dutifully want to stone the surface before you put the thing on the thing. Please wipe it down. I like using a degreaser like this, and then use the stones on a nice clean surface. Your stones will stay pristine. Let me show you. This is, you see the 2 black dots on there? This is PFG Stones set number 2. And these don't get as much traffic as my other ones, but still, I don't have to clean them because they don't tend to get dirty. They're getting a little dirty, but it doesn't matter. So eventually I will do one of the things I just told you how to do. If they get super duper uber pooper dirty, you're not cleaning them. So start cleaning them. How old are they? 3 years? 2016? No, 5 years. I think they're 5 years old. Yeah, and they're used every time I'm in the shop. They get used, and ironically, I have to use them on the grinder. So every time I go to manufacture PFG stones, I have to use PFG stones. So that's pretty funny. I'm gonna go plug my headset in so it recharges. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Did I answer your question about cleaning? I think I did. But head over to pfg.gg, and that's the info page, and in there is some cleaning tips. But another thing I do sometimes over at the bench, I'll just spray the stone with some solvent and then just wipe it down, and it'll pull some of the oil off. Anyway, hey, Learning, where in Australia are you? I know it's a big place. And does anybody have any other questions? I have about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to have to flip stones. Adelaide. Awesome. So I have friends in Melbourne, and I think in Sydney also. Hey, Joel. Joel Engineer is with us. Series Motorsport. If you're just joining us on Instagram, this is a random live. This was not planned. This is also live on YouTube on Kinetic Precision NH. Bom dia! Do Brasil! Welcome. You made yourself 2 pair. One for metrology and one is next to the milling machine. The metrology one still looks new. The one on the milling machine gets dirty. Yeah, that's how life is. That's excellent. Well done. I actually owe myself, I want a set of round stones for the mill. And the shoemaker goes barefoot. Yeah, what are your temperatures down in Brazil? And where in Brazil are you, sir? So yeah, I have to make myself a set of stones for the mill area, but usually I run over to where I'm standing and grab one of those, or I go over to the grinder and I steal my 6-inch set. But I have 3, well, officially, this is my experimental set. Yeah, technically I have 2, 4. I have 4 sets of PFG stones in play. Joel Engineer says, apparently live works much better on Instagram. I started on YouTube but couldn't see any of the chat. Oh, is that my fault? Oh, hang on. I wonder if that's my fault. You know, it's possible that the live chat is, I could have screwed up, but I don't think I could fix it right now. So keep in mind that the chat is working, but maybe it's only one way. Hey, Kevin, are you still with me? Okay, thank you, Sir Henry. I'll take a look. Thanks, Joel. We'll debug this and see if I screwed up something. You're supposed to be able to see the chat, and it could have been my setup, which is a good thing because that means, in fact, I'm going to make a note for tomorrow to check the chat. I may even be doing a test tonight. Yes, so like here, I'm going to put a chat. Actually, I can't do that. Anyway, there are definitely 2 chat streams. If you're on YouTube, you see the YouTube chat stream. If you're on Instagram, you see the Instagram chat stream. You cannot see both unless you're on both. So, learning, yes. I like the round stones. If your work is big flat things, right? Like tooling plates and stuff, and that's most of what you do, the round stones are the way to go. Great big flat surfaces, tables, the round stones are great. There's a secret little feature of the round stones. So when you go to pick up a round stone, you don't know what orientation you're picking it up in, so it randomizes the wear. Okay? There's not a lot of wear, but it randomizes the wear. Whereas when you pick up rectangular stones, you tend to pick them up and use them the same way, and that wears the same every time. So one of the secret advantages of the round stone is the randomization of how you use it. That's pretty cool. So yes, if you're dealing with big tooling plates all the time, round stones are the ticket. Oop, I heard the sound. Is that the... Yep, end of cycle. I got to go change things. Fabian says, I ground them poorly. He made some stones. I ground them poorly with a silicon carbide wheel. It was horrible to grind, but it worked. Yeah. I don't know if it was you. Somebody recently asked me about using silicon carbide. Let's talk about that after I flip. So I'm going to put up the be right back flag on YouTube, and I'll be right back, which is why I'll be back. And we're back. Thank you, Fabian. Yeah, I would be happy to make a set for you. And I'll be happy to hear your feedback as to how they work. I think I was going to talk about silicon carbide. Yeah, silicon carbide wheel. Okay, I'm calibrating now. My brain was thinking CBN wheel. That was somebody else contacted me about CBN wheels. Yeah, I could see the pain. What happens is silicon carbide is harder than aluminum oxide, but not by much. Also, the friability of the silicon carbide wheel is not going to be... It's actually probably, it might be less. It might be more friable than the aluminum oxide wheel. Sometimes you'll hear us use... Oh, Sir Henry says that was him asking 2 weeks ago about CBN. Yeah, I know it was one of you guys. So sometimes you'll hear a grinder hand use the term soft. Oh, that's a soft wheel. And it doesn't mean that the material's soft. It means that the wheel sheds its grits easily. And the term of art for that is friability. So if something is very friable, it sheds its grits easily. And sometimes we end up calling that a soft wheel. So like when you look at your wheel designations, you'll see, oh, it's a 46 grit wheel, like our classic white wheel, right? Oh, it's a 46I or J or H. That letter is the friability. So now that we understand our terms, the actual hardness of aluminum oxide and the actual hardness of silicon carbide, the silicon carbide, yeah, that's a good way to say it. Sir Henry says the binding is soft. Okay, I'll allow it. It's imprecise, but it really is friability. So silicon carbide, in my experience, is frequently more friable than aluminum oxide wheels, just because the way they get made. But the aluminum oxide, the silicon carbide itself is harder. The trouble is it's not super hard. So really, yeah, okay. Fabian is saying what I was about to is saying empirically what I was about to say theoretically. He says both stones are wearing down, one faster and one slower. I had to dress it pretty often. Yeah, yeah. I think I want to talk about that tomorrow. Hang on, I got to make a note. That's a really good. That's a good topic. And I'm going to have, see now you guys have to show up tomorrow for the live. I have some cool stuff to talk about on that. Yeah, the name of that effect, by the way, Fabian, is dressing ratio. So you got two things grinding. You know, one thing is grinding the other thing. Or so you think, right? That's the plan. The plan is my grinding wheel is grinding the work. The work isn't grinding my grinding wheel. Yeah, that's not true. So imagine if you had an aluminum oxide 46H wheel grinding an aluminum oxide 46H wheel. So what would happen? They would both wear down at the same rate. Not good. So you want something that's going to have a high dressing ratio, which means, yeah, I'm going to lose a little bit of my wheel when I grind down my work, but my work is going to lose a lot. That's a high ratio. The live will be 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 17 GMT, 1700 GMT. Yeah. So what do we do about that? You go to diamond, right? And say, oh, diamonds are the hardest thing. And that is absolutely true. If you take a diamond wheel and you grind your stones, what do you think's going on over there? It's a diamond wheel grinding stones. That will work, and the diamond is harder than the aluminum oxide, but the binder is not. So the binder that's holding all the diamonds together is either resin, like epoxy resin, or metal or something. And that's different. That is softer. So you have to be kind of gentle. Imagine brushing your hair, okay, with a comb where the bristles are made out of plastic, but the thing that holds all the bristles together is made out of butter. Okay? And you're probably saying, like, that's crazy. Well, yeah, it's crazy. You're holding diamonds in I'm going to use the word epoxy, which is probably the incorrect term. I'll just call it resin. You're holding diamonds in resin. Isn't that the same thing? So you have to think very carefully about how you do that grind, or you're gonna injure the base. That's the message there. Did that turn any light bulbs on for you? Raven Rock, welcome aboard. Hey Nick, welcome aboard. So that's this is good. This is good stuff. You gave me some. I was going to ask you guys for ideas for a topic for tomorrow, but you did it. You gave it to me while I'm working. What could be better? So Kevin must be gone, and I bet you nobody's on YouTube. How's it going there, Raven? This is a Hangout in the Shop live if you're just showing up on Instagram. This is not our normal PFG IG live. We're hanging out while I have these approximate 20-minute cycles. And actually, I have 40, probably about 45 minutes left that I could do this. So, Fabian, you're gonna have to buy your own wheel. Just bring it in your lunchbox and take it home in your lunchbox. I hear what you're saying. Or you could just, you know what I'm going to say, right? Go to pfg.gg and order a set of stones. And then you're done. Don't get me wrong. I salute your wanting to make them. But it's tough to take the shortcut. Okay, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow if you're around. Almost. Have a great one. And drink a lot of water. Stay hydrated. Yeah, everybody thinks it's easy until they try it, and then they're like, "Wow, this is like, yeah." It took me, like I said, I've said this before. It took me 2 solid years until I think I got a handle on the process. And no, I haven't. So CBN is the same thing. You know, CBN is almost as hard as diamond. Okay. It could probably be pressed into service for making round stones, but what's the advantage? Cost? Because the reason CBN is interesting is CBN is not diamonds, and therefore you could use it with ferrous materials. Okay? But if you said to me, I had non-ferrous work to do, which a stone is, aluminum is, titanium is, right? I have non-ferrous work to do. Which do I want? CBN or diamond? Diamond all day long. Because you want it to be as hard as you can get it. And the reason I use a metal bond diamond wheel is to keep the base that holds the diamonds together also as rugged as possible. And you could get away with it without that in non-production. But once you're in production, man, you're gonna eat resin wheels. Anyway, there you go. Any other topics, questions, comments? Have I had an instance where I have to regrind customer stones? I've said from the beginning that if you have a problem, I'll regrind your stones. So I think I've had 3 instances in 5 years where I've reground stones. And I'll tell you, one instance was abuse. The stones were used like they were out of the box Junko stones, and they got gouged and screwed up. And I reground them, and they were like new. I sent them back. Another instance was where the customer if somebody in the customer shop was using them on greasy, oily, crappy surfaces, and they just got totally loaded up. And I tried cleaning them and had some success, and they were totally fine. In other words, I think I ultrasonicked them, and I would have kept using them, but I reground them. And then another time, I don't remember, but I think there were 3 times. So I have done that, but if you follow the directions and you don't use them for sharpening your axe, they're going to last you a very long time. Nick says, I've been wanting to make some stones, even if it's just for the exercise, but I can't bring myself to do it unless I was making a bunch. I would suggest give it a shot. You know, I know you have 3 sets of legit PFG stones. You know, what did I do? That's what I did, right? I went and got all the tools I needed to make them, and I was all gung ho, and then I sat on it for a year. And then once I started making them, all of you guys said, "Hey, are you selling them?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And that was the beginning of my making PFG stones. Hey, Raven Rock, I just ordered some last night. You are part of my. So I'm making your stones right now. Literally, this production that I'm doing now is your stones, Raven Rock. Thank you for your order. You're gonna love them. But literally, I got cleaned out of 4-inch stones. So, and even now, orders came in last night and today that put me behind the curve. I have a safety margin, so we're gonna make all the orders this weekend, but I'm behind the 8-ball, and the 4s are just flying out the door. It's kind of a sweet spot because it's a little cheaper. It's a great size, absolutely. Nick says that 4 inches is a great size. It gives you really good feel for when you're doing real fine work. I used to say that the 4-inch size was my favorite go-to, like that's what I was using most of the time. But really, because I'm working on the grinder all the time, it's now 6-inch is my go-to. Yeah, it depends on the work you're doing. Or as we say, ¿por qué no los dos? Why not both? And that's not a well, it is a sales pitch, but that's where you end up is like, gee, I kind of need them. And then it's like, oh, I need the minis to get into this little space. Oh, I need a bevel. By the way, while I'm talking about bevels, here, this is a chipped bevel, right? There's a there's a new term called the bevel ratio. And the bevel ratio is the ratio between the number of people that scream that they need bevels and the number of people that actually buy bevels. Don't get me wrong. I will make them in any quantity from 0 to all you need. But it is a special, and I have the tooling. The tooling is set aside. It's ready to go. So I ignore bevels. I do not stock bevels. But when somebody orders bevels, out comes the tooling. I take care of the bevels. Same thing with the lips. What I affectionately call the Renzetti lip. Very rare do we get a request for the lip. When a request comes in, we make the lip. I've got it down to a science. So, DSIM Mexico, bienvenido. So, that's the story on bevels. But I just got a really nice. You saw it in my posts that Alex Baker sent me really nice feedback on his use of the beveled stones. He was working on I think a Bridgeport, rescraping a Bridgeport. It looked like a Bridgeport, and getting in there and. Oh no, I take it back. He was using a Bridgeport to cut the bevels, and then he was going in and I guess scraping and stoning the bevels, and he was using exactly one of these, a 4-inch beveled stone. So, and of course, when something gets chipped, I can't sell it. So guess who this belongs to? Me. I get to eat the leftovers and all the chipped cookies. What's the lip version used for? So when you have let me get a prop to explain this. Ooh. So these are Starrett 278 angle blocks with their clamps. These are match ground by moi. and it's in my toolbox, right? So let's say you wanted to stone this angle, okay? And there's a relief cut. You see the relief cut? See, that's for YouTube, and that's for Instagram. Yeah, you can both see it. So you could take the stone, if it has the lip, and the lip goes into the relief cut a little bit so that you can get the entire surface of this bevel stoned, and then similarly you flip it. So that's the purpose of the lip. And I think it was Robin that introduced it. But that's that's the purpose of the lip. Take a look at the website. I honestly don't remember. It's a per excuse me. It's a per lip cost, just like it's a per bevel cost. So it's just an add-on. So you order your stones, and then you say, "Oh, and give me a lip." Or you can get a lip on each stone. You just add 2 lips. You'll see it's actually working pretty well on the webstone. Is the bevel face ground? Yes. The bevel face. I know I sound like a broken record, but this is actually explained on the website. So this face here is PFG. You know what that means. This face here is PFG. This face here is PFG. And say it with me, this face here is PFG. So you could, all of the faces are treated exactly the same. And the answer to your question is yes. I'm going to go put these back. And with that, I have to go flip some stones. So I'll be right back. Think of some incisive questions for me. BRB. Hey Nick, everybody needs a lip on a, stone. And he's back. Another question about the cost on the lip. So you got to check the website. I do not remember. Is the bevel face ground? Oh, we answered those already. Okay, I'm all caught up, I think. Huh, that's interesting. Ah. One other thing on the lips. The lips are fragile. Okay, the lip is 30 thousandths of an inch extension and 30 thousandths of an inch thickness. So it does a nice job, but you can't just throw them around. And when you put them back in the tray, these don't have lips, but when you put them back in the tray, make sure the lip is on top so that it's not, it's not banging around. It's not going to hurt the lip on the tray itself. Okay. And I put a card in that warns you of that exact thing, but I'm just saying. Hey, Ukraine. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate being watched in Ukraine. Hey, Bob. Welcome aboard. This is a random live. We have no plan, no weapons worth a damn, and no backup. Doesn't that scare you? But we are taking random questions of any type. So I've got a little over a half an hour of randomness left. And then I've got to go do handwork to finish these stones. So that I can't continue the live at that point. Hello, Jeffrey. Welcome aboard. So is any... Okay, take care, Fabian. Thanks for checking in. Do you use any automation in your shop using Wi-Fi switches? I just bought one to turn my air compressor on. We use Wi-Fi light switches in the house. We don't use them in the shop. We use Wi-Fi thermostats, which we do have. We use a Nest thermostat. That's Wi-Fi. And it doesn't play much of a role during the summer because we don't have air conditioning in the shop. But in the winter, we turn on the heat in the shop. Like if I was like, oh, I'm gonna be in the shop in an hour and a half. I'll just pick up my phone and turn the heat on in the shop. I think I know what you're asking, like turning on the air compressor or doing any of that stuff. I don't, but I'm not adverse to it. So that is I saw there was a brand of switches. Somebody was doing some automation and they showed these switches. They were pretty cool. And they just had screw terminals. Yeah, so I have a timer on the coolant pump and cleaner for the mill. And a lot of times during the lives, I think I got the timing switched around, but you'd hear it going in the background. Shelly switches. Thank you. That's the name. Shelly switches. And I don't remember who brought it up in the community, but yeah, they're pretty cool. So my coolant pump goes on by timer. And just an interesting tidbit, my timing for the coolant pump is high noon. How come? Because I have solar panels. So the more electric I could use while I'm generating electric is the better. So I that's one way I balance it. I turn on the coolant system. Now my coolant pump on the mill is air operated, so therefore really it's my compressor. So we just move the demand to the most probable hours. Now my buddy Adam, MHM Machining, he actually does some really cool automation, and he interrogates his solar panels and sees how much he's generating, and then makes a decision about certain loads to turn on based on how much solar he's generating. That's pretty cool. But I don't do anything that fancy, but I do use a timer. So basically 12 noon, I turn it on. Smart meters for your CNC machines. In other words, you want to meter how much energy your CNC machines are using. Is that the goal? It's a pretty good idea. There's some things out there. This is not an endorsement because I've never had one in my hands, but the product is called Sense, and they have a box that you go into your main panel and you put clamp on current meters on various circuits. I'm not sure that it will handle three-phase. In fact, I'd bet that it doesn't, because I think it's aimed at homeowners. But it wouldn't be too hard to get something going. That's a really good idea. I'd be surprised if there wasn't a three-phase capable thing. Take care, learning. Enjoy breakfast. We'll catch you later. It's really funny. I think the biggest markets I have for PFG Stones outside the US is Australia. I got a lot of Australian customers. Oh, really? So Wes says that the Shelly switches that he's bought have live metering in them. I did not know that. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to look at those again. I'm gonna write that on my card. Is it with an E? Shelly switches. Beautiful. Cruick Shank. Engineering, I trust. Welcome. You've walked into a random room. We're in the machine shop making stuff. Yeah, always, right? You need an electrical box and a way to deal with it. I like the idea, though. From a business point of view, it'd be really cool to understand how much energy each machine is using. So one of the things that I've thought about is, I'm using a really nice system from Keller Filters, and it's a air-operated pump for the coolant, which has some nice advantages. There's no electrics, kicking around. On the other hand, I think from an energy cost standpoint, the air-operated pump is probably more expensive than just having a electric motor. in the existing electrical boxes, there's no more space left. Yeah. Isn't that always the way? So I could probably do some efficiencies, but really, you know, you gotta figure out what battle you want to fight. And for me, it wouldn't be worth going down that path. I think if I had a big shop and I had CNC machines running every day, it would be a big thing. I have a friend who I'm not going to name, but you all know him. And I've said to him before, I said, you know, you got this building with a big flat roof, and every square inch of that roof should have solar panels on it. And I believe that more than ever. So if I had a way to put up more solar panels here, I would. Unquestionably. The manual machinist. Welcome aboard. We're in the middle of a CNC seminar. Just kidding. So again, if you just recently joined us on Instagram, we have no agenda. And we are also live on YouTube on Kinetic Precision NH. And I'm kind of stunned that I haven't seen more traffic on YouTube. The one thing that OBS does not tell me from the YouTube data is how many people are watching. I have to go do some other trickery to get that number. Maybe I'll do that anyway. The angled flat stones. You mean the beveled ones? Or am I missing something? Are you talking about beveled flat stones? Because if you're talking about beveled flat stones, I've been selling them for months. Yeah, they're available. Just go to the website and order them. There they are. This one's mine. You can't have it. Beveled PFG stones are available in 4-inch and 6-inch. DSIM.mx says, I would like to resell your PFG stones in Mexico. I don't have a plan for having dealers, but I would entertain your proposal. No, right now there's no options on degrees. It's a 40-degree included angle, 40-degree included angle, and that was chosen so that you can get into a 45-degree bevel, and it works really well. So you just that's the bevel. Now, if you want something special, talk to me. But if you go to the website right now and order 4-inch or 6-inch stones, you can add a bevel, 40-degree bevel, for an additional cost. So just check the website, which, as you know, is pfg.gg or pfgstones.com. Whichever. pfgstones.com is more memorable, I think. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's right there. There. So the conundrum is when you design a product, you know, if I have somebody out there that absolutely wants a 39-degree bevel, and they're the only ones on the planet Earth that wants a 39-degree bevel, okay, so now you've got to, it's not just like dialing a number in a field somewhere. So we had to come up with something that would appeal to most people. Yeah, there you go, man. PFGstones.com. So, a funny story about that. I've been using on Instagram because you can't put a link in your post. You have to say link in bio. I use pfg.gg because it's really short. It's 5 characters and easy to remember so that you go over to your computer and you can remember the 5 characters. The problem is that many people did not realize that .gg is a domain that you could use that. So I've started to go back to using pfgstones.com because now people can remember PFG Stones and .com is obvious. So both work and both go to the exact same place. Good question, though. Yeah, we were talking about Bevels earlier, I think before you checked in. And you should let the world know that it's right off the website. Just hit the button and you get a beveled stone. But it is a 40-degree bevel right now. Tebesh Film, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, welcome aboard. That's funny. There's a frog attached to my rear sliding doors. My wife just posted a picture. Polygon Workshop, welcome aboard. This is a random live. No plan, no agenda. You guys could ask any questions you want. I am running a CNC machine, so I have time to talk. And I know I should be cleaning. That's usually what I do when a CNC machine is running, is I clean. But I did that yesterday, so. So I like it when people's handles on Instagram have their name in it. It makes it's kind of nice because I can connect it, and then if I communicate with them or they place an order, I know who they are. And then some people have a different name on Instagram, YouTube, and in real life. And now I got to remember 3 names. But that's just my opinion. Hooligan Steel. That's a great name. Welcome aboard. Sir Henry says, we clean the shop and machines every Friday. I hate if my machines are dirty. Yeah, man. I agree with you. I like to clean up after, well, it's funny. Most of the time I will stop, and clean up after a job. So I'll leave time to clean up. And then sometimes, especially if I get exhausted or it's really hot in the shop, I'll finish a job and I will exit. And then the first thing I do when I get back to the shop is clean. Most of the time I do the former. Some of the time I do the latter. Nick asks, do you use an oil skimmer on your machines? So, but you see, Nick, you and I communicated on another channel, and now I have you locked in. So there's a few people that I've done that with. So the Keller filter system does oil skimming. So it pumps out the coolant it has a floating pickup, pumps out the coolant into a tank. Oil rises to the top. The feed comes from near the bottom, and it goes through also a particulate filter. So it does both of those things. I think I might have heard the magic noise. Hang on. Yep. I got to go address the CNC machine. So I'll be back in a minute. I'll put the BRB flag up on YouTube and BRB. And we're back. I got 20 minutes. Yeah, Keller is a Massachusetts company. Why do I, it's funny. People are checking in now, and I get the wave. There's a little button where I could hit and wave at them, and that button is blinking now. I don't know why. Keller is a Massachusetts company, family owned, and they make nice products. And I've been a customer for a long time. I also have, in addition to the system I described to you, I also have a bag filter on the output of the coolant pump of the machine. So it goes through the bag filter and then it goes back into the machine. And that is awesome. Hey, welcome, Mosley Machines. Welcome aboard. So this isn't the live. This is a random live. So I know you don't think it is, but it's Saturday. and this is a random live because I'm working in the shop. So our real live, the PFG, IG, and YouTube live is tomorrow, Sunday, at 1700 GMT. So this is the random live. But welcome. You're the second Aussie that's been in here today. So welcome aboard. Yeah, Sunday morning is our regular live. This is our irregular live. Also, simultaneously streaming on YouTube at Kinetic Precision NH. That's the other thing is everybody here should be subscribed to the YouTube channel Kinetic Precision NH. Yeah, right. Sir Henry says Keller sounds like a super American company. You would have thought as a German. It's kind of a German name. No, it's actually interesting. The guy, the dad who started the company, and with his son now, dad might be retired, was an MIT guy, and I don't remember how I got connected with them, but the son was here. They visited here a couple of times. Super nice people, super good product. Yeah, good stuff. Tell them I sent you. Oh, I'm sorry, Mosley. Well, I'm glad you were here and you caught the random live. That's good, isn't it? How long have we been going here? An hour and 46 minutes. Oh my God. We're doing more airtime today than we'll do tomorrow. But it is random. So let's see. It's 1800 here on the East Coast. 1820, 1840. So at about 1840, 40 minutes after the hour, I'm probably going to be shutting this down. I have a goal to finish this batch of stones and get shipping done, because maybe I could relax tomorrow. Excellent. Well, we'll continue doing whenever we can do the dual YouTube and Instagram, we'll do that. And we were just talking earlier. Some of you were not here at the beginning. We will probably be doing some sessions with guests. And in that case, we're probably going to do a YouTube only event. So that's why I say make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel Kinetic Precision NH on YouTube. Links in bio, as a matter of fact. And that's where we're streaming now. Yep. But we'll let everybody know on Instagram when that's going to happen. All right, we're in the final 15 or 20 minutes. Any other questions? I'm going to bring up a window here. See if I can't see what our traffic has been on YouTube. Okay, so according to this, there's only one person watching on YouTube. It's fine. And I think it's me. So I don't think we have any YouTube action right now. Okay, well, I think I'm sensing that this is going to be the wind down here. So I'm going to say good evening to everybody. Some of you, it's good morning. And I'm going to shut this down and get back to finishing up my work today. Thanks for checking in on this random live. Tomorrow, Sunday, 1300 Eastern Time, 1700 Greenwich Mean Time will be the PFG IG Live, and we'll do it officially. Take care, Nick, Sir Henry. We'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow. And Mosley, I'm glad you were able to check in today if you can't join us tomorrow. But I may put this video up on the YouTube. We'll see what happens. I'll put it up. What the heck? All right, guys, take care. Ciao for now.